emotions when I watched that first episode. I just, oh my gosh.
That's great.
Same here.
That's great.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
A bunch of us stayed up late to watch the first episode.
What time did the first episode come out?
It was,
at 5,
it was
I heard,
supposed
right?
to be 5 a.m. Eastern, but they ended up putting it up early. So I believe it was 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern. It went up.
Oh,
yeah.
Past your bedtime.
And I caught it about 5:45 in the morning. So I had to been
true fan.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, there was a bunch of us tweeting about it, and, once one of us saw that it was up early, that was it. We were off and running.
That's great. Wow.
And it just, it helps, of course there's new characters, of course there's recasts, but a lot of the core characters that we loved for so many years, or even newer ones like you, you're back there, and that helps because to me it's like when they redid Dallas. If you didn't have those core characters, I don't know how successful it would have been with just new characters.
Yeah. It's interesting because they're going to bring back the way that, listen, and I mean, I don't have all the facts in front of me, but what my instincts are telling me, the way that they're going to do this is that we're having 5-week turnarounds. So who knows if, for instance, Susan wants to come and do something and she's off and she said, yeah, I'll come on for a little bit, it'll be great. And if they want to see Susan again, they could pop off and they could go to Hulu and see her again. So it's really accessible. The show and your characters are really accessible. And, I really hope and I believe that they'll give us stories that'll make it people want to keep watching and watching and watching.
Right.
So it's a brave new world. It's crazy. I have Netflix and I'm really into this show right now called House of Cards. And for me, I can watch it and pause it and go and go change my baby in her changing room and watch it on my iPad and then go back and watch it. You know what I mean? So there's all this accessibility.
Right.
I mean, that's what the 21st century is really turning into. And it has its downfalls as well. There's like this whole. I remember my uncle telling me that everything's so instant now. Instant gratification. Kids are given this, like, boom. It's like they're given this, they're given that. And I get it. I do. I think, there's going to have to be an even keel in a certain respect. But, it's just the way things are going. Faster, better, bigger,
Right. And, it's funny because I think about it sometimes when I put something in the microwave for 2 minutes, and I'm thinking, God, this is taking forever. But think about when you didn't have that microwave,
Yeah, think about when you had to take 2 sticks and, put them together and start a fire.
Right.
What about that, Pam? I mean, those are different times.
Even we're just so spoiled.
Even like we were talking today to a neighbor and saying, when my mom had us, she didn't even. I don't even know. She didn't really have an epidural. I think that was something that was new, or maybe it was kind of like she didn't want. But people didn't have epidurals back in the day.
No, they didn't, and I can tell you that. I have 4 children. The first three, I did not have an epidural because it was pounded in our head in the Lamaze class in biodoctors. That is dangerous. Don't have it. You got to have natural childbirth. That's all there is to it.
Right.
By the time I got to my 4th child, I had the epidural.
Yeah, right, exactly. And my wife and I kind of toyed with the idea of not having an epidural, I should say she did.
Yeah.
Because my say was really kind of small at that point. But she was like, she kind of toyed with it for a second. She's like, no, we're going to do the epidural. So the minute we can, I mean, we might as well have worn shirts saying epidural across our chests because there's no way that we weren't going to go through that with some form of anesthesia. It's just different times. It's different times. And, like I said, I had this kind of vision that people, the older generation. Even my mother doesn't even really know how to use a computer or what have you. But maybe this will make bonding between the older generation and the younger generation. Maybe the younger generation will say, "Hey, grandma, grandpa, or mom, dad, let me show you. This is where you go on your computer." So they show them, and then they watch it, and they're like, "Oh, okay." And then maybe that creates something.
And what's nice about it, too, is they can hook up the computer to the TV if they need to watch it on a bigger screen, because older people do have vision problems. So,
Right. There's tons of ways. I mean, you can get a TV. Well, it's funny. I had a neighbor of mine. His name's David in LA. He wrote me and he's like, he must be approaching 90. And he was telling me how upset he was that he couldn't watch All My Children because his TV wasn't connected. And I think he thinks, so I wrote him an email kind of explaining it to him. And he's like, "Oh, I can watch it through my computer. I don't need an internet-ready TV." So, we'll see. He said, he wrote me an email yesterday saying, "Well, you only came out for 2 minutes, so I don't think I'm going to watch it." So he's very sweet. Yeah, he's a very sweet guy. Big fan. But, let's see. It's exciting. I think, and it's exciting. And, I came out for 2, and people are going to have storylines that are going to be different. I think some people are going to have big storylines. In one 5-week cycle, I think other people are going to have bigger storylines, and I think that's an interesting take as well.
Right.
It's a 22-minute show when it comes down to it.
Wow.
23.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like there's and before I think it was like 38 minutes. I think when you broke down the commercials and everything.
Yeah, that's not a lot of difference. So we're pretty much getting what we had before.
Right. So let's see what they do. I think people should hang in there, enjoy it, take it for what it is now, and see, where this goes.
Well, I haven't heard any complaints. I mean, I've seen a couple people tweet that some other people were talking about the language, but to me, it's not a big issue because you guys are not walking around dropping F-bombs every other sentence,
Right, and it's funny because as actors, we kind of, when we're on, they're pretty cool about us using explicit language, and we try to drop the F-bombs, but they're like, we're not going to do that just yet. We're going to see what happens. But, actors like to get excited and kind of, if we're given a little liberties, we like to see where we can go with that. But I think right now they're keeping it kind of with the, the kind of junior high language. Yeah. And we'll see. We'll see. I don't think they want to get too edgy. I mean, AJ's guitar riffing yesterday was quite amusing, and Lindsay's scene. I remember reading that in the first script and being like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
Her makeup scene, her love scene with David. I mean, it was like intense.
Yeah.
But they're
to say the least.
Huh?
To say the least, that was pretty intense. Yeah.
It's intense, right?
Yes.
So, but they listen to us. They listen to the actors. We have our reservations about certain things, what we're willing to do, and they say okay, and they work with us. So,
well, you know what? I don't think that David and Lindsay's or Vincent and Lindsay's scene was that outrageous or anything.
It was outrageously written.
Yeah. Because
when I read it,
you had one of the kids walking around naked, with just a towel on him. So to me, that was more.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't too explicative. I mean,
no.
No.
But, yeah, I remember reading it and then, kind of teasing Lindsay, saying, "Did you read what's going on here? Did you see?" She's like, "Shut up." She just didn't want to hear it, So it's fun. It's cool. Listen, everybody's, and it's good. Like even the new cast, I think, in watching the first show, I felt very I was proud. I thought the new actors seemed good. They seemed comfortable. They seemed very, doing their work, and I think it's going to be easy for people to watch. I think I'm super excited. I'm really, I'm still kind of, I don't know if you guys know, but do you know how they're going to do it? Like, if it's 5 weeks on, 5 weeks off, they're going to not have, there's going to be a time when it's dark, right? When they're not showing the shows consecutively, right? Or do you guys not know that either?
I have no idea.
I haven't heard that. I just heard something like one life is off while you're taping, and we're off while one life is taping, but I don't know, the logistics any further than that.
Yeah, I don't know either. We'll see.
Well, it's nice that they're going to do the interactive chats on Fridays, too, with the fans.
Oh, are they?
David signed up for it.
Yeah, I signed up for it.
And do they have, like, different actors doing that?
David, you know more about it. You tell him.
I believe it's either through Twitter and
there you go.
Skype.
There you go. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, we're going to have that with myself as well on our Indiegogo page. We're hopefully going to do a Skype. We're charging money for it. It's not free because we want to, get this crowdfunding project off the ground, and it's for a great cause on our Indiegogo page. And we're going to have some new video coming, I think, next week on the page. And, I think I'm super psyched about it. I think it's just going to be huge. And who knows? Maybe it'll even be on Hulu. That's
that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
For our listeners, let's just tell them you go to Indiegogo.com and look up Perfect Day, webisode pilot, soap actor with fan autism. I would imagine if you probably just put Perfect Day, it would probably pull it up. I should try that while I'm on there.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that because you did mention people personally know somebody or have somebody in their family, and my youngest son has a form of autism. It's pervasive developmental disorder.
Your youngest son does?
Yeah. So I try to always participate in donating or promoting things like that. And David works with people with autism, so we both donated.
Yeah, I do. It's very close to my heart, Jordi. So, it's my day job.
Even if you guys donate $1.50, we're really appreciative. We think it's going to be, I don't know. I think this thing can I really believe in this project. I think it can do wonders for, a place like Jacob's Ladder, which is such a great institution in what they do. Really working and therapeutically with kids, and really believing that the brain can change itself, and really just, everyone I've met knows someone that has autism. And it shouldn't be something that's shunned. It shouldn't be something that's not talked about. It should be talked about, and it should be, just like anything else.
Right. More research needs to be done in new therapies, new medications, whatever it takes. These kids need it. Now, I also know this guy Michael for Terrorizing Records. He co-hosts with me once in a while on my music show, and he's got a huge project going where he's been across the United States last year and going again this year, and he's filming a documentary about how music therapy helps kids with autism, adults with post-traumatic stress syndrome and stuff like that. So I'll mention to him too, because I just thought about it now.
Set up an introduction. I'd love to talk to him and get to know what his take on it is. Listen, I think music is. I love music. I have very eclectic taste. I like everything from music scores to hip hop. Even a little. My wife is huge into country. She introduced me to Christian music, which I love. The Christian radio station is constantly playing in our car. And she's just like always